Hi guys, welcome back.
Hi everyone, we're back.
Yep, this week we are talking about free things to do in Singapore with kids. That is because Singapore is very expensive. And we have been in Singapore for a month now.
And it's very fun, but you can end up spending a lot of money if you're not careful.
Yes. So without further ado, let's get into the first one.
Yes. What's the first one?
The Jewel.
The Jewel. The Jewel is beautiful. It's a Changi airport, so if you arrive in Terminal 1, it's literally just around the corner. You can pop in there, have a look the moment you arrive.
But you can also come back to it at a later date.
Yeah, you don't need to be flying to go to Jewel.
Yeah, it's technically just a large shopping mall within the airport. It is spectacular to just observe. It feels very tropical.
It has a beautiful waterfall that the kids absolutely loved and spent ages looking at it.
Yeah. The other thing you can do there is the Jurassic Walk. So there's a walkway that leads up to the airport. It's all part of the same sort of area. You can walk through that. Bear in mind it's quite hot, so you won't want to spend too much time outside with your little kids. But it's really cool. There are big dinosaurs and stuff to see, and I'm sure it'll be very entertaining for them.
There are paid options on the top floor of the Jewel. We couldn't do most of them because our kids were too small, but our kids found free entertainment in there by themselves.
It's not worth paying for. There are some very cool things, I think, with older children who'd be allowed to go in. 100%, it's worth doing. I know we said this is free things, but if you did want to spend the money on it, you can. You don't need to. It's not worth it for certainly not for toddlers.
And we really struggled to find a bin on the top floor. Spent ages looking for a bin.
Yes. There are lots of drums that look like bins, but they're not.
No bins.
So the next one is the Botanic Gardens.
Yes, beautiful gardens, which you can enter for free, any time of the day, free.
Yeah, there are interesting historical reasons behind how the gardens were established. We're not going to go into them, mostly because I can't remember anymore. But they are gorgeous. There are really interesting things to see all throughout in different sections. There are, as always, in Singapore, things to pay for in the gardens.
Yeah, so the orchid garden, you have to pay to enter.
Yeah, again, you don't need to. There are plenty of free things to do. There's also a whole section dedicated to children.
Yeah.
Like you can just run around in the grass and explore all the trees, and wildlife as well. But there is a whole section dedicated to children.
It has a big playground, several different playgrounds actually, and a splash pad.
Yeah, which are really cool, like a big tree house and just like other stuff for them to explore.
That was very fun. Wait! Good catch, buddy.
Some of the walkways are elevated and you can see a lot of wildlife in there at times as well.
You can learn about different trees and fruits and flowers. So if you have slightly older kids, they might be quite interested in that. Unfortunately, while we were there, most of the kids' area has been under renovation. So hopefully it will be able to reopen by now.
Yeah, it's meant to be finished by the end of December 2024.
We were there in December 2024.
It wasn't done.
But we were there in the beginning of December.
So hopefully it'll be finished by the time you visit. Yeah. The last thing to warn of is the rain. We've mentioned this before. It rains a lot in Singapore and the monsoons had come a bit early. We got caught out by the rain and got absolutely drenched and trapped. So...
Excuse me, you finished this point.
Isabella's waking up. But yeah, we got caught out by the rain. It was pouring down and the only way to get to a nearby MRT, which is under shelter, and get home was to walk out in the rain. And we attempted to cover ourselves up. It failed. Turns out though, Isabel really likes the rain. She was quite happy to go out in it and get drenched.
Izzy, come back. It's raining.
Okay, so it doesn't look like Daria's coming back for the next 10 minutes, so I'm just going to crack on. The beach. Singapore is an island. It has beaches all around the coastline. Some are better than others, but all of them are free. The one we went to and the one you're seeing here is Sentosa Beach. This is the best known. It's like a party island with lots of things to do. It's with theme parks, the water park, lots of other stuff there. There are hotels as well. But the beaches there are all man-made and they are beautiful. They are pristine, they are gorgeous, but they're all artificial. But there are other beaches to go to as well. You can go to the west coast, to the east coasts, and all the way around you will find beaches. We'd recommend looking at the east coast beach. We went to Pasir Ris as well, which is in the far east, and it's not so great. But the east coast one we've been to before as well, and it's really nice. For Sentosa Beach itself, we recommend bringing snacks because it's really quite expensive and there's not a huge amount there. We also recommend, if you're wanting to do this for free, that you walk from the MRT station at Vivo City across the promenade and across Sentosa Island. You can take the SkyTrain across and it'll take you all the way to the beach, but you have to pay for that. Something that I think is important for us to add, we want to make this all about free things to do in Singapore. But no matter what you do, you have to get around the city. The MRT and buses are incredibly cheap, they're very efficient, and they're very quick. But you do have to pay for them. So it is impossible to be in Singapore entirely for free. You really can't walk around the city and go to all these different places by foot. And cycling is probably not a good option. Especially if you have small kids, it's not feasible. So you'll have to pay a little bit to use the MRT, but it's very simple, it is very cheap, and it won't break the bank.
Okay. Isabel joining us because she woke up from the nap a bit earlier and didn't want to go back to sleep.
Yeah.
So say hi, Isabel.
Not quite awake
Not
yet.
quite awake yet. So our last suggestion for free activities with kids is to go to Gardens by the Bay. Gardens by the Bay are stunning, yeah. They're incredible. They're beautiful gardens to walk through at night or during the day. There are lots of places to shelter from the sun there, so you won't get too hot. The super grove is fantastic. Again, you can pay to go onto the upper levels, but you don't need to.
Yeah,
There's no need.
It's Singapore. You can pay. There's always a chance to pay for a slightly better experience. Yeah. But again, it's really not worth it. We've never done that, and it's always been really cool.
Yeah. And when you're there with the kids, you can take them to a splash pad. We've shown it in our previous video, so you can go have a look at that.
The splash pads are really cool.
Yeah. There's a whole play park for the kids next to a splash pad with a giant tree house, lots of things to climb and slide down.
Yeah. And then just north of the domes, the botanical domes, there is a musical park where you can like play music on xylophones and glockenspiels and stuff.
Yeah, that was fun too.
And it's cool. I mean, they even have little like instruction books so you can try and play the music. Yeah. Toddlers not so much able to play music, but as adults,
have great fun anyway.
Yeah, they have fun making lots of noise. So it's worthwhile doing. The last thing, I'm just looking at our notes, the last thing is the Jurassic Hawker Center.
Oh yes, you can have your lunch or dinner there with the dinosaurs.
Yeah, so there are animatronic dinosaurs inside a Michelin-starred Hawker Center.
The food will be a bit more expensive. You don't have to eat there, but the show is definitely worth it.
Right, we have two bonus ideas. The first is free, And the second one you actually do have to pay for. The first free bonus is just go on Google and look up playgrounds. There are tons of playgrounds in Singapore, especially in residential areas. In the center of the city,
Less so.
less so. But if you go to the residential areas, which again, MRT, very quick, very cheap, you can find lots of really good, just simple playgrounds.
There are lots of community centers that will have playgrounds or splash pads or some other kid activities in them.
Yeah. So it's well worth wherever you're staying. Just Googling playgrounds and you can find some really fun ones. And as a bonus to that, you can see a bit more about how normal like Singaporean life is.
And the second bonus is a paid one, but we thought it was worth paying for.
It's an experience that we've never had before, and I mean you could choose so many things to pay for in Singapore, but this is mostly because we got such cool footage from Bubble Planet. We couldn't quite resist adding this into the video.
So the second bonus is Bubble Planet. It's a temporary exhibit, so it might not be there when you visit, but there will be something else available similar to that.
Yeah. The highlight by far is the giant ball pit, like a swimming pool ball pit. So as adults, you can climb in and sink to the bottom. It was so much fun. We nearly lost Izzy in there. She was a little bit uncertain about sinking into the balls. Finn really enjoyed it.
Loved it.
And the highlight for me was absolutely between the two of us practicing propelling him as high as he could go. Like I would use my hands as a base and fling him and he would jump at the same time and he could go so far and just smash into the balls.
Yeah, that was really fun. But there are lots of activities there for the kids of any age. So I think we've all really enjoyed the Bubble Planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, if the sound quality is not very good, it's because she's kicking the microphone.
Yes.
So thank you for watching our video. Please click like and subscribe to our channel so you can receive regular updates. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.